You ever be like 80% asleep, but you don't realize you're asleep until you like just notice you've been saying the most ridiculous possible fucking shit for like 5 straight minutes? I'll be laying in bed and I'll be like, you know what? I should get an ostrich. Ostriches are really convenient to have. I can ride to work on its back. I bet Walmart has good deals on ostriches. Oh wait, I'm fucking asleep, aren't I? You ever have a really bad therapist? I've had really bad therapists. My very first therapist, he wouldn't say two words to me to save his life. For $1,000,000, he wouldn't. I would just wax poetic for an hour and he would just stare right through me like he was astral projecting to a strip club in Vegas. And that's what I thought therapy was for years, that just monologuing to a brick wall. I've also had a lot of classes therapists. My one therapist, or my psychiatrist, I remember I told her how worried I was about COVID because, let's face it, all my heroes are like 82 years old. If Roger Waters or Neil Young gets COVID, they're checking the fuck out. So I was like, okay, I'm really worried about this. And she's like, oh, don't worry. She told me with a completely straight face. She told me, only poor people get COVID. And I'll always remember that exact day because it was the very same day that Tom Hanks announced he had it. So I guess he's falling on hard times, huh? Snoop Dogg recently pretended to quit weed for about 5 days, maybe more. It turned out to be a promotion for a smokeless grill. He's like, oh, I'm giving up smoke. He's like, it's a smokeless grill now. I don't know. But the really funny part to me was all the people who were like really hardcore, like, he's sober now. You have to respect it. And we're like, yeah, we believe you. We believe you. Snoop Dogg without smoke is like, Rachel Ray without cooking or Woody Allen without child grooming. You ever think Eminem's a little weird about women, though? I mean, you write the first song about brutally murdering your baby mama. That's normal. We've all done that. When you write the second one, I'm starting to look at you a little side-eyed. You know what I mean? He's also extremely homophobic. He, and people say that times were different in the year 2000. And that's extremely true. They were. But he told MGK to take the dick out of his mouth like 6 years ago. So all I'm saying is little slim toddler hasn't evolved since 1999. He really hasn't. And people say he's okay because he did one song with Elton John one time. But if you don't know anything about the queer community, Elton John is not the emperor of gay people, okay? He's not. He's actually kind of a dick. Really great musician, huge douchebag. I heard recently that Billie Eilish has started losing followers after she came out as queer. And all I'm thinking is like, who the fuck looked at Billie Eilish and thought this 20-year-old with red and green hair was like super straight? Oh, straightest person I ever saw. She's so straight. Are you kidding me? You go to any lesbian bar in the world, you'll see at least one Billie Eilish, I swear to God. Me, though, I'm old school. I really like Neil Young. He's my favorite. And he plays so many genres. He's played almost every genre there is before. He even was on a rap song once. He's played so many genres that when Spotify do their rap at the end of the year, they ask him for advice on which esoteric genres to come up with. Because you look at your rap at the end of the year and you're like, what the fuck is Goblin Core? I didn't even know I listened to aggro avant jazz. You know what I mean? And here's some genres that Neil's played. He played, let me think, hardcore space age country and western. That was a good one. That was a good album. Solo electric classic rock noise. That was a really good one. I like that one. That was 2010. Techno. Okay, that's normal genre. That's a normal genre. But it's really weird that the guy who did Heart of Gold played techno, okay? That's like Willie Nelson playing Darude Sandstorm, you know what I mean? Speaking of classic rock, Bob Dylan's out there playing. He's been touring forever, man. He's still touring. But for the last like 3 years, he's been touring the same stuff from his new album. And I'm really glad it's the internet era and I can check the set list before I spend $300 on a ticket. Because it's like, he's not playing anything. Name any Bob Dylan song you've ever heard. No, he doesn't play that one. Like a Rolling Stone. No. All Along the Watchtower. No. The biggest hit he's played in 3 years. This is true. The biggest hit he's played is Gotta Serve Somebody. Which if you don't know that song, you're not alone. It was from his Christian gospel period. In 1979, it charted at number 24 on the charts. So nobody my age has ever heard it before. Bob Dylan has so many iconic songs. Blowing in the Wind, Tangled Up in Blue. And he's sitting there in a high chair like a 5-year-old. Nah, I don't like those ones. But when he says it, it's more like this. No, I don't like those ones. Me like new album. Elon Musk. Do I need a punchline? He is a punchline. He is a punchline. He named one of his kids XAE12 in Roman numerals. He named another one of his kids Exa Dark Side Real. I thought it was a little bit too similar to the first one, really. And the third one was called this, Techno Mechanicus. Techno Mechanicus. All I know about Elon Musk is he wakes up every morning saying, if I don't have every single one of my kids absolutely despise me, then I have failed as a parent. Because you can't name your kids after esoteric numbers or music genres, none of that. They are not Pokemon. They grow up and they get fucking pissed. None of these kids are going to talk to him a day after they turn 18. Never. Not even close. Not a chance. All right, let's talk about religion. I love talking about religion. I had one coworker one year. Same year, she gave me 2 cards. 2 Christmas cards. All they said was, you need Jesus. That's all they said. It wasn't like Merry Christmas with a little you need Jesus on the side. It was just a blank card. You open it up, it says you need Jesus. And I'm like wondering, where the hell did you get these cards? Is there a Hallmark section in the Hallmark store for the you need Jesus cards? I don't know. But she found them. Maybe there's a special website you go to. I don't know. But I really like the early Christian texts, like the Gnostic Gospels, the secret Gospels that they don't tell you about. There's an apocalypse attributed to Peter where if at the end of the struggle, if people in heaven look down and have pity on people in hell, then everybody gets to go to heaven. Everybody gets to go to heaven. That always made sense to me. Because wouldn't an all-loving, all-powerful God want everyone to go to heaven? Shouldn't that be the goal, ideally? God loves you unconditionally, but there are some conditions. There are definitely some fucking conditions. You know who really loved you unconditionally? Mr. Rogers loved you unconditionally. He could convince Jeffrey Dahmer to stop killing people. He would just sit Jeffrey down all calm and nice and be like, you know what? You know you're hurting people, right? And Jeffrey would just cry and he would apologize. He would say, oh, I'm so sorry. And he would open up a bakery. Meat pies, best in the city. Meat pies. Anybody like movies? I like movies. There's a new Godzilla movie. $15 million budget. And it looks better than anything Marvel has ever produced. It looks amazing. But I guess it kind of makes sense. Because when your main character is a giant fictional lizard, you don't have to pay Robert Downey Jr. $500 million with points on the side. So, you know, hey, you save some money where you can, right? I also saw the new Hunger Games movie. That was really good. I thought it was a lot more intellectual than the earlier Hunger Games movies. Because let me make a point, you know, it's not that hard to make the point that killing children and making children kill each other is wrong. And I love those movies, even though I don't agree with the point, you know. I think a little child murder goes a long way. You ever deal with a crying child in a restaurant? Absolutely terrible. However, it's still way better than dealing with the after-church Sunday brunch crowd. The worst time in any server's life is the after-church Sunday brunch crowd. They are all about peace and love on earth. Praise Jesus. Love your neighbor. But if that server forgets one of my 10 diet lemonades, then burn her in hell. Burn her, they say. They could really use some Klonopin to mellow out. They need to frickin' mellow the frick out. And I can help them with that. Because every drug dealer I ever met, I met working in a restaurant. They don't even get to know you first. They just walk up to you on your first day and say, how much heroin would you like to purchase? Do you need any weed? How about lithium? And I'm like, is there like really a black market for lithium? I thought that was like, you know, a mood stabilizer? And they're like, honey, there's a black market for everything. I can get you cough drops so strong, you'll see your dead ancestors. And I'm like, I don't think I really want to see my dead ancestors. They were white and European. I think there's probably some atrocities there. Probably some atrocities. Thank you.